Back here, first things first, we got Antoine Walker back with us. Talk some Lakers now. Still trying to figure out who they really are without LeBron in the lineup. On Friday, they weren't great. Lost to Portland, dropping them to that 7th seed. Last night, got it together, looked pretty good, Antoine. Best game this season for Anthony Davis. Gave you 42 and 12 in the game and a nice little personal assessment after the game. Take a listen.
I'm like 20% of my old self. I'm kidding. I feel good. I'm getting my legs back. I'm getting my rhythm back. I'm getting my steps back on both ends of the floor. So I feel good. I'm getting better each game, getting my wind back each game. So we're heading in the right direction.
Antoine, for weeks now, you've said you want to see more from Anthony Davis. He needs to step up down the stretch here. Did last night change the way you feel about the Lakers after what you saw from him?
Of course last night did, but let me start with saying, I said this on Friday, AD, you're a kid from Chicago. I know you tough. Thank you for not milking them back spasms. Thank you for coming back and not milking the back spasms. And then coming back with vengeance. The last 2 games have been incredible, what I thought he should have been doing from the beginning of the season. When you look at it, he had 50 field goal attempts in 2 games, 32 free throws. Obviously, he had a monster game. I think when you average it out, it's like 39 points a game in 2 games. And then he got a win. But now this is the AD that we thought we was going to see coming out the bubble, being aggressive, not taking any shorts, taking advantage of smaller teams. He was very dominant against Portland. They had Melo and these smaller guys on him. He took advantage of them. Obviously, he took advantage of the matchups last night. So this is the AD that we're going to have to continue to see. He's going to have to be the guy to motivate them to continue to keep them going on the offensive end. We know how great of an offensive player LeBron James is. But AD is the one that's going to have a mismatch probably every night. He has to take advantage of that and be aggressive the way he's done the last 2 games. Hopefully he continues that. And also you got to point out, you guys, you got to remember, when you know a guy's getting his legs back and starting to really feel it, his minutes go up. I'm looking at 39 against Portland, 41 last night. That means AD's body's starting to feel better. Frank Vogel's to trust him. The injury that he's had, he's starting to trust it and believe in it. So this can be scary because the Lakers are going to have a tough battle when they get into the playoffs, whether it's in the play-in or they're able to salvage the 6th spot. So they need him to be 100% and playing at elite level. And this is a great time for him to start to play that way. 2 games back-to-back. Let's see if it continues.
Look at him, Twan. What do you see?
You know what the too long didn't read version of what you just said is? The brow is back, my friend. You motivated him. Friday, Chicago and Kentucky's own Antoine Walker said, AD, I love you. You, with respect to Antoine, like AD was the guy Antoine was ready to hand the baton to for Chicago's best Kentucky Wildcat in the NBA. And AD was falling behind. So what'd he do? On Friday night against Portland, he had his best game of the year, but they lost. So he outdid himself on Sunday against the Suns, who right now, if the playoffs started today, would be their first-round matchup. And I could show you clips of Anthony Davis points, but instead I want to show you how I know the brow is back, aside from having this idiotic thing on my head. And that is, let me show you these 5 plays. Anthony Davis in transition. Nope, that's not going to work. Anthony Davis, help side defense. Nope, that's not going to work. Anthony Davis, late in the game, critical rebound. I am going to fight for it. And then one more in the corner, similar to the block he had in Denver to win the game. And then, as an added bonus, how am I going to get my 40th point? Blammo, as Wilds would say, on your head. That's the guy that we saw in the bubble. And Brandon, it's now a trend. He was excellent against Denver. He was even better against Portland. He was damn near perfect last night against Phoenix. The Lakers did that to the 2-seed Suns with no LeBron and no Schroeder. Right. That is the mismatch Anthony Davis provides for everyone in the West, and he's finally playing the way you've demanded he play all year.
That's right. And he's back. And then it's not, we can have these conversations, 1 game, right? 2 games. and we talk about being consistent. But there's some things that players show you, and you're like, you know what? No, he is back. Nick, he is back. Because everything Antoine said on Friday, everything that you just showed on the defensive side, he was aggressive. Like, I don't know if it was the big shot in the bubble that got AD a little twisted, where he tried to evolve and elevate to a new version of himself a little too fast. Like, who did he think he was? KD? Because they're both damn near 7-footers. He was out there on the perimeter trying to be cute, dribbling between his legs, playing like LeBron. No, bro. You are a guy that should be able to dominate in the paint. And when he did that and he made that commitment, what did we see? 15 trips to the line, another 15 trips to the line. Like, that's the AD that the Lakers need. That's the AD that showed up in the bubble. That's the AD that we love down in New Orleans. We need AD to evolve, but at the same time, man, do what you do best. And, Nick, it is scary. When you watch that game, it opened up the shooters. I mean, you had 2 or 3 people collapsing on him in the paint, him being able to kick the ball out to the perimeter, make the perfect pass. The ball movement was awesome. The spacing was great. Defensively, we saw that. It just makes everyone better. What do you think is going to happen, Wiles, when LeBron James comes back? It's just going to make everything more wide open for everybody else.
Yeah, and that's why it's bad news for the Suns. Like, I'm like the Tyra Banks of Suns fandom. Like, I believed in you. We all believed in you, and you let us down. You guys have the second best record in the whole NBA. You got a better record than the Sixers. You got a better record than Giannis and the Bucks. And we watched this game and like, were you guys missing players? Were they missing guys? Like, no, they had everybody. and the Lakers didn't have LeBron, and they didn't have Schroeder. And Nick is so frustrated with poor Kyle Kuzma. He didn't even talk about not having Kuzma. Meanwhile, Anthony Davis was also great against the Trailblazers. But you know what? Dame Lillard's like, not going to lose, scores 38 points. So for me, Antoine, the sort of missing storyline here is that the Lakers would play the Suns, and in what a playoff preview, it's not like, we got to get playoff ready. Like, Suns, you would play the Lakers. Come out, and they don't have anybody. You should come out and win that game. I thought it was super disappointing and made me think that the Lakers are going to cruise past the Suns if they get past Steph and the Warriors in the play-in.
Well, that's what makes the playoffs special, and this is the scary part about for teams with the Lakers being in the position that they're in. Nobody wants to face them in the first round. You don't want to face a healthy AD with LeBron James and the full roster of the Lakers. It's going to be very difficult to beat them. So this is the scary part about it. This is what teams are going to be afraid of. It's hard to go against LeBron in a 7-game series. So this is what we face against. So it should make it very exciting. Unfortunately, the injuries got them in the bottom. We knew this. I talked about this. They were going to kind of fall to the bottom of the pack in this playoff race. But I would not want to play the Lakers in the first round of the playoffs.
Well, okay, so despite the win, the Lakers still find themselves in that 7th spot. They're 1 game back of Portland with a 7-8 matchup looming against Golden State. So here's Steph Curry with his thoughts on that potential matchup.
I think the league might enjoy Lakers-Warriors 7-8 in the play-in. That's a meme.
That's a meme. That's a meme.
Nick, I know you're not worried, but should the Lakers be worried about facing the Dubs in a play-in game?
Jenna, if a lion is chasing a group of men, who should be worried? The lion or the group of men? Because the group of men are ahead. They're leading the race. I don't think the lion's that worried, though. And what we're about to see, Wilds, is what's the old adage in that? In that situation, you don't have to be faster than a lion. You just have to be faster than the slowest guy. You just got to be faster than one person. So, like, DK Metcalf needs Buda Baker in that race, not the people who dusted him this weekend in track. Sorry, DK. Like, that's the situation you need to be in. What we're about to see, Wilds, is the rest of the Western Conference jockeying to not play the Lakers. That's what we're about to experience over the next 10 days. And the Warriors got no choice. The Warriors' best case scenario is facing the Lakers. They just hope the Lakers play well enough that they actually play themselves out of it. But if the Lakers are, let's say the Lakers move up and don't even have to worry about the play-in, and they're up at the 6, guess what? The Clippers all of a sudden going to be DNP resting guys hoping to drop to the 4. And if the Lakers are locked into the 7, the Suns are going to be saying, fellas, is there any way we can drop to the 3? Because it is going to be a game of avoiding LeBron and AD in round 1. And the reason that's the case is because nobody actually thinks the Lakers are going to lose to the Warriors in the play-in round or the Grizzlies or the Spurs or any of that. Nobody actually thinks that's going to happen, Wilds.
Oh, I do. Can we throw out my graphic of how many huge games Steph has had? And Nick, I'll throw it back to you. I'm not saying that this is a finals rematch since it's Lakers-Warriors, but I think Steph and his little nod there, his silent nod, is like, you know what? I'd like to avenge a loss. And this is going to get you mad. Nick, I'll throw it back to you real quick. I'm going to put legacy alert on here. I don't think LeBron, unless LeBron beats both of these teams in the play-in, I think we have a chance to be like, uh-oh, this hurts the resume. I'm not saying he's going to lose. Not predicting he's going to lose. But this is like the ghost of Jordan is looming over here. And if LeBron loses, just saying, the ghost of Jordan and all of our Jordan stands will rise like a mighty phoenix. And it'll be a thing if LeBron loses in this play-in game.
Yeah, that's great, which is why he won't lose. I'm happy for the ghost of Phoenix and Jordan and all this foolishness. I'm very excited for that. Brandon, you think they could lose? I want to know, because I don't really know where you stand on the Lakers.
One game?
You think they could lose? I want.
What's the rules?
Yeah,
if you win, you're in. If you lose, you're gone fishing, right? Yes, that's the rules. So absolutely, Steph Curry. Wiles just showed you the statistics. Okay. Do you believe in numbers or not? This dude can drop 50, 60 any game.